You've heard about Dave's tail. Now get ready for Dave's neck. At first glance, you may look at Dave and say, you know what? His neck is fine. But the longer you look at him, the more blatantly obvious it will become that there is indeed nothing at all fine about Dave's neck. It looks as though someone combined the neck of a goose with the body of an entire camel, or more realistically, a dromedary, but I digress. Every time I catch sight of Dave from behind, I expect his head to swivel around 180 degrees, like an owl, or perhaps a possessed child. As of now, this has not yet happened, but given that Dave is only 3 years old, there is still time. While the length of Dave's neck does not benefit him in the same way that it would, say, a giraffe, it does have some practical applications. Most notably, Dave's bizarre neck allows him to get a closer look at both door frames and his beloved Jackson.
Why do you make noises? What are you trying to convey? Yeah.
Am I too close?
Photoshopping my cat Dave's neck so we could see what he would look like if he were actually normal. This is what Dave would look like with a normal neck. He's cute, right? He looks like a normal, sweet, perfect little cat. Also, I did Photoshop all these while walking on a treadmill, so the Photoshop is not great, but we're gonna pretend that it is. Anyway, idealized Dave. Real life Dave. Compare and contrast. I need to set this to a beat or something. Next up, we have this picture, which you may look at and say, hey, you know what? That looks like a normal cat. But you want to know something? It's not a normal cat. It's Dave, as evidenced by this, which is how that picture actually looks. Geometrically probable Dave. Historically accurate Dave. Here they are in rapid succession. This is what Dave would look like with an appropriately sized neck. This is what Dave actually looks like. Proportional Dave. Historically accurate Dave. Do you want to know what I did yesterday? I spent the first 5 hours of my day tracking every single piece of my financial information from last year in a spreadsheet that would put a Victorian child in their grave. And then I spent the next 2 hours doing this. There are more pictures if you want to see them. There are many more.
At what point did Dave's tail become so disgraceful? To answer this question, we must go back in time more than 3 whole years. On the day of his birth, Dave's tail appeared normal. It was neither longer nor skinnier than the tails of his siblings, belying no indication of the horrors to come. At 1 week old, Dave appeared to be growing in a normal fashion, and it is only with great attention to detail around week 2 that we could possibly say that Dave's tail is a bit narrower at the base. That being said, it is still rather hard to tell. The more the kittens begin to move around, the more we can get a read on Dave's tail. Here, at just shy of 4 weeks, it is looking a bit unorthodox compared to Gandalf's. But kitten tails are silly looking in general, so again, we must wait. This video, from January 20th, 2021, is the first time we can actually look at Dave and say, good lord, that is a snake. On January 23rd, 2021, we can definitively see that Dave's tail is indeed skinnier than Gandalf's. And on February 16th, Dave's tail is legitimately ridiculous, a sentiment that is further confirmed on February 18th, when we can see just how disproportionate it actually is. By February 25th, it was undeniable. Dave's tale was destined to be a tale unlike any we'd ever seen before.
No, Gandalf, don't encourage him. Dave. What's up, my guy? Dave, you see how your mom and sister just sit politely? Yeah, you could do that too. You don't have to yell. If you stopped yelling, you would be allowed in.
By popular demand, we are now photoshopping Dave's tail to see what he would look like if he were normal. This is what Dave would look like if he had a normal tail. As you can see, it is still not a particularly large tail, but it is at least more similar in size to that of his mother. This is what that picture actually looks like. Socially acceptable Dave, historically accurate Dave. Look at how it dances. This is what I believe an appropriately sized tail would look like on Dave. This is the unretouched version. Unrealistic beauty standards Dave versus historically accurate Dave. I have another one for you guys, but the photoshopping of a cat's tail is not an easy thing to do. Maybe it's because I didn't try particularly hard, and I was also doing this on a treadmill. Again, I'm not going to get off my treadmill to accurately Photoshop my cat's tail. That's too serious. This is what Dave's tail would look like if he adhered to societal beauty standards. Once again, I don't think this is an unreasonable tail. It's not too big, it's not too skinny, it just kinda is a normal tail. It's a normal cat tail. It's normal. Lo and behold, this is what Dave's tail actually looks like. Romanticized Dave. Historically accurate Dave. So obviously I live with Dave, but every so often I'll go over to a friend's house and I'll see a real cat, and it is such a jarring experience to see what cats' tails actually look like in real life. I feel like my perception of what they're supposed to look like has just been completely and irrevocably skewed. Thanks, Dave.
Oh, are you looking at the door frame? Yeah. You really want to go check it out, don't you? Or is it the tiles today? Which one, buddy? Yeah? Your mom's just silently judging you through the door crack. Oh, yes. Is it the tiles? Are they bothering you? Oh, I wish I knew what was going on in that sweet little head. Is it the tiles? It is? It's just my hand on the tiles. How can I make this better? So it really is the tiles, it's not the door frame, is that correct? Yeah? Oh, is it the door frame? Time to irritate my cat, Dave. I'm gonna touch Jackson, Dave.
Every so often, someone who knows me in real life will ask if I exaggerate Dave and Jackson's relationship online. And there's usually some refrain about, oh, I've never seen a cat act like that. Or, surely there's no way he actually loves Jackson that much. Or my personal favorite, I totally get it if you're just like hyping them up for views. So moving forward, I would like this video to serve as an answer to anyone who dares question the integrity of Dave and Jackson's relationship ever again.
I regret to inform you that Dave has been grievously injured, as evidenced here by the massive gash on his nose. From the general appearance of the wound, we can surmise that Dave has either incurred the wrath of his mother, his sister, or perhaps his own foot. As of yet, the true perpetrator's identity is not known. Despite his compromised state, Dave is clinging to life, and Jackson and I have chosen to remain optimistic that he will pull through. Dave is currently receiving round-the-clock care from Jackson in the form of both physical and emotional support. Granted, this is not particularly different from Dave's normal daily routine, but I think that Jackson's efforts deserve recognition. Here you can see Dave recovering in his armchair by the fire. We actually just had our fireplace replaced, and we are very grateful that we have this to aid in Dave's journey to wellness. I promise to keep you all posted with what happens next, be that good or bad, and I think it goes without saying that this is why Dave is suffering today.